terms of defense, Fiji's defense has really improved as well, and it's something that's very obvious in this tournament. So, of course, Ben Gollins and William Misatala putting in a lot of work there, and it seems like the emphasis is on defense. Speaking of defense, from the 3 games, only 5 tries were scored against Fiji. So 2 from England, 1 from Kenya, and 2 from USA. And of course, that comes back to the defense. So from those 3 games, it's good to see the senior players, they are communicating effectively in defense as well, not only in attack, but in defense as well. So you can see the likes of Tevit Ndongunu, Vakur Nambili, and Jerry Tuwai as well. They are communicating effectively in defense. So they really they're telling the players what to do, where to go, and where to cover. And the defense for Fiji really shows out. So 5 tries were scored against Fiji in those 3 pool games. And if you take a look at the different pools as well, that's a record which I think only New Zealand comes close to that from Pool B. But from those 5 pool games, those senior players, like I mentioned as well, Vana Kaivata as well, he's really standing out and growing in his game. So he came off of the bench in the second game against Kenya. He got a try as well. In his performance, in that short time that he was on the field, he just involved himself in the different aspects of the game. And you can see that he's really hungry on both sides of the ball, in attack and in defense as well. So that's working well for Fiji in terms of those big boys, the forward pack that's not only solid in defense, but they also bring that X factor to the game. So you can talk about X factor, like, you've got a lot of that in the form of Nanduvalu, Bukayaro, and Jerry Tuwai as well. But those forward players, Vana Kaivata, Jeremiah Matana, they bring that X factor as well. Throwing the ball around freely, the offload game strong, strong carries and runs with the ball, and just, having fun and creating tries as they do that as well. Also in defense with their big hits and big tackles, just, disrupting. And we saw a lot of that against USA. USA ran in 2 tries against Fiji. So I spoke about defense earlier on, and that seems to be the point that I will be driving, because it's really obvious that their defense has improved. So what I'm trying to say is 2 tries were scored against Fiji in that game against USA. And that just came off of USA holding on to the ball longer and just throwing it around. And, in those cases, like, somebody's going to give. Offense is going to give or defense is going to give. And on that occasion, unfortunately, Fiji just gave in to USA holding on to the ball longer and throwing it around and just allowing a couple of missed tackles and those tries being scored. Obviously, Fiji, we've been known for that offload game, but the big improvement, it's always been there, but it's very obvious as well now. See how Nanduvalu is getting all his tries. He's just running the right angles. He's at the right place at the right time. And you can see that with Rasaku as well. He scored 2 tries in the game, and that's just running the right angles in support. And he got a clean ball off of a break from Vakur Nambili in the game against Kenya. So that just comes down to him being aware of, his situation, his surrounding, running the right angles, and being at the right place at the right time. So it comes back to the offload game, which Fiji is, known for, and throwing the ball around freely. But of course, coming back to the supporting players and the supporting runners, just doing the basics and the fundamentals, and coming back to that point which I mentioned, running those angles and just being at the right place at the right time. I have to give credit to, while we can talk and glorify the backline, not taking anything away from them, but these 3 pool games, it's the forward pack, Vakur Nambili, Tevita Ndongunu, Vana Kaivata, Jeremiah Matana coming off the bench as well. They really, the unsung heroes, so to speak, like, they're doing all the hard work and, setting up those tries. So the defense is really standing out from the forward pack. Their lineouts are working well. Scrummaging is really good. And they're putting in those big hits and solid carries and solid runs. So Vana Kaivata is really standing out in terms of that. He's leading by example. He hasn't missed a tackle yet in those 3 games, coming off of the bench and doing the fundamentals and just really working. Very industrious player. It comes down to them just really trusting themselves and trusting that process. Like, there's a breakdown, and it comes down to more awareness as well. So in the final pool game against USA, there were a couple of occasions where Vakur Nambili, he could have easily won that ball, but I felt like he held back because he knew there was no need to. If he would have overcommitted, a penalty would have been given away. So I think it comes down to maturity and just really that situational awareness of what's happening at the breakdown. Whenever there's a ball that's contestable, they will go in for it and they will win it. And they've done that. They did that on a couple of occasions. But most of the time, like you mentioned, yes, avoiding the breakdown, there was really no need to contest that because the line had formed. I spoke about defense earlier on. Defense is working well for them, and they just trusting whoever's standing beside them for the next play, and that's when the ball exits the ruck and the defense line has already been formed. There's no need to commit to the ruck and just trusting the process.